Hello, Professor. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm talking about the last research project from this course. Today, I'm talking about the yellow wallpaper from the Carlos Sprunkin films. The yellow wallpaper critiques late 19th century social norms regarding the woman's. The powerful short story of the explore themes and themes like mental health, gender role, and the effect of isolation divine in. Carlos Franklin was a writer and feminist in the late 18th century, where the woman faced the rigid social expectation. Sometimes women the opportunity were limited and healthcare often dismissed their real needs. Gilliams used the story to challenge these norms and advocate for the woman autonomy, historical and content and social credit. Inspired by the Gilliam's own experience with the postmortems, depress and the rescue. Sometimes the woman were often prescribed something called the rescue, which basically meant doing nothing, just stay home, do whatever the other woman doing, like cooking, writing, thinking. Don't think too much. So that's why the how damaging the kind of treatment could be, because the in the late 19th 18th century, the the men are more powerful compared to the woman, because they say woman can't do nothing, just stay home, do whatever you want to do in the home, just stay in the one isolated place. That's the human mindset over the late 18th and 19th century. Economic limitation. And that time women can't do nothing. They don't go outside for work or any kind of job where they can earn money. So they have a economic limitation, because of the men do everything, like go outside, do the job and make money and everything. The woman role is only stay home, do nothing. That's why man is more powerful. Woman can't do any, like not woman can't do any I don't have words about this, but decision. Oh yeah, woman can't do nothing for decision to make money and anything, and just powerful is men. Marriage tied them financially and socially to their husband. Women's in that time only depend her husband. The narrator life is detected by her husband, showing the dependency and lack of autonomy. Culture and values of gender role. Society view woman roles as a domestic, wife and mother. Education or intellectual pursuit were discouraged. The narrator decided to write the support and reflecting social silencing of the woman. The story is about the woman who is suffering from the postnatal depression. Her husband, who is also a doctor, tells her to rest and isolate her in the room with the ugly yellow wallpaper. She starts off obsessed over the wallpaper and eventually believes that the woman trapped inside it. As the story goes on, she becomes more and more unstable. You understand how hard for one woman to stay one isolated place and do nothing, she, until she fully identify with the woman in the wallpaper and lost touch with the reality. The major theme is mental health. What about the mental health for women? The story critiques how women mental illness and the misunderstood, the mistreat. Another big theme is gender role. The narrator's husband controls her completely and she has no to say in her treatment. Symbolism in the yellow wallpaper. The yellow wallpaper symbolizes entombment and oppressions. Woman behind the wallpaper, narrator projection of the herself and repress woman. The room with the barred window represent infantilization and control. Narrative style and psychological realism. First person journal format draw reader into her mind. Colonize chronicles have descent into madness, mirroring real psychological distress. Provide emotional insight into the effect of isolation and lack of agency. The yellow wallpaper is the most important symbol. It represents the structure that the trapped woman, whether the marriage, medicine, and society. The woman she sits behind the wallpaper represents her and woman in general the trying to escape those structures. Next slide. Critical reception and impact. Initially overlooked but later embraced by the feminist critics. Beside her highlighting gender inequality and poor mental health treatment. Influence reformed the mental health care and inspired the future feminist lecture. This story was groundbreaking at that time. It was one of the first piece of feminist lecture that talk openly about the woman mental health and the danger of ignoring their voice. The yellow wallpaper is bold critics and gender, medicine and culture norm. The films use the literary technique and enhance its emotional and political power. The story remained relevant as a feminist and psychological masterpiece. In the conclusion, the yellow wallpaper is more than just a credit story. It's a statement about mental health, women rights, and the importance of the self-expression. It forces us to ask what happens when someone is silent instead of the supporter. You have to support the woman for anything, like his own decision. She can do the outside from home to work. She can earn the money, everything. You can't just say you just stay in one place and don't do nothing. You are not dependent person. You have to depend on you have to depend on the man. This mindset we need to the exit don't exit anymore, because today is I think is today is better position compared to the late 18th and 19th century. There are the difference of the references that you can follow and discuss about the more about these topics. Gilman CP 1980 1990 1892 The Yellow Wallpaper. If if you want to